Hi Scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am here with a layout. That is the page that I'm going to be lifting today, and that little wood block with the string on it that I showed you is a stamp that I made myself. I got the idea on Pinterest, and so I decided to finally make it. I pinned it like 2 or 3 years ago, probably soon after I got onto Pinterest, and I just haven't ever done it, so I finally just made myself do it. My kids are home and I just needed some time to myself, so I decided I was just going to sit down and do this voiceover. So I hope you cannot hear my 4-year-old out there screaming. I really don't know what his problem is today. Okay, so I think I'm using the Bluegrass kit for this layout from Studio Calico, and so I'm just kind of showing you a few of the things that I have. Yes, it is the Bluegrass Farm kit, and so I had the scrapbooking kit and the the Project Life kit. So I'm just going through a couple of the Project Life cards just to kind of figure out which ones I wanted to use. And here I'm going to cut down my papers. So this wood grain paper, it has words on it like fresh produce and fruit and stuff like that, and I just wasn't really sure how I was going to use it. Still, I'm not really even sure. So I thought it would go good as a sliver of a paper. So I'm going to place it down there on the bottom with the yellow paper as well, the flower paper. And I really love that yellow flower paper. I think it's really pretty. And so now I'm going to go through the Project Life cards and just figure out which ones to use. So since I'm doing a scrap lift for this layout, all I really needed was just like one picture and then a couple of spaces, like different cardstock patterns. And so that's why I was thinking about using the Project Life cards, because they're already cut down to the right size of the photo, and so I figured that would be an easy way to go. So now I am just trying to pull out my different stamp pads and figure out how I want to use this stamp. So all you do with this stamp is you just use it like a normal stamp, and so I wasn't really sure how it was going to turn out, and you can see there that it didn't turn out that great, and I actually got it on part of that 4x6 card there. And so I'm trying to see which stamp pad works better, and it's just not working out as great as I had hoped. I mean, we all have those things that we see on Pinterest, and the person that pins them or made them originally, like, it works out so great for them, but for you it doesn't work out as great. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. So I decided to pull out a yellow stamp pad and to start using that. So I used one of the skinnier sides, and I was thinking maybe I could use this stamp pad. It's a chalk stamp pad, and so it's kind of like, it's got the chalky look, and so it was a little bit harder to get the color to stay on. So I was thinking maybe I could do like a border all around the photos and the Project Life cards. So that's what I start doing, and then I completely change my mind. So for now, this is what I'm doing on here, and I'm not too crazy about it, but I keep going, and it's just not working out the way that I wanted it to work. So I'm going to stop doing that and kind of go with something else. So, I guess I keep doing it for a little while. I thought this is where I stopped, but apparently not. So the blue was still a little bit on the other side, and so I just kind of started stamping it all around. And at this point, I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to do the stamping, and I'm not going to worry about it looking, bad or good or whatever. And so That's what I'm doing. I'm just using this wooden string stamp that I made myself and just going crazy. And I actually do like how this layout turned out. I'm not sure how often I will use that string stamp. I mean, maybe I will want to go for that look again, but I'm not crazy in love with it like I thought I would be. Okay, so now I'm trying to figure out what I am going to do because I really don't like how I started to do that yellow border. And so I'm just, yeah, stamping and like thinking, what am I gonna do? But and I don't actually have the picture in front of me here, so I'm sorry about that. I do remember this layout, but I made this layout way back in June. Oh gosh, it was so long ago. I have a couple of layouts that I'm behind on, and this is one of them. Oh, sorry, that was my dog. He's in my room with me. He's probably like, let me out of here. You trapped me in here with you. So here I am just cutting down this card because I didn't want to use all of it. And so, like a lot of scrapbookers, I like to conserve. And so I'm just going to start putting all of these things together, all of these cards together. And I'm just going to glue the cards to each other. I'm not going to glue them to the background. And you'll see why. Because of that frame, I just wanted to come up with something different. So I am still in the process of figuring out what I'm going to do at this point because I really don't like how I had that yellow stamp going around the pictures and the papers. So I'm going to have to cover up that mistake, but for now I really like how this is turning out. And I'm thinking about matting it on this, first that grid paper and then this pink paper. And then I go to this red, it's like a reddish pink wood. And I just can't decide if I really like it. So I'm going back and forth between these two pattern papers. And this kit was a lot of fun. I really liked this kit. I am actually trying to use up all of my kits so that I can subscribe to a new kit. I don't know if you've been following me for a while, but I did subscribe to the Studio Calico kit for about 7 months, 8 months. And I liked it, but towards the end there, it just didn't seem like I was getting my money's worth, and so I unsubscribed. And now I want to go to HipKit or Scraptastic Club, the Scraptastic Kit Club, but I can't decide on which one I like the best. And also I have all of these Studio Calico kits that most of them I haven't even touched, and so I really want to start using up my Studio Calico kits so that I can order some more kits and feel like I got my money's worth out of those. So I finally decided to use some of the yellow cardstock that I got in the kit, and I'm just going to glue down all of that strip of 3x4s and the photo. And I am just going to put it right there in the middle. Well, it's not really in the middle. It's kind of like down more towards the bottom. And I'm going to place these two pieces of paper on the bottom there. And here I pull out the yellow because I thought maybe it did kind of need a little bit more. And so I'm just going to do a few different spots on the layout with the yellow chalk, the yellow chalk ink. And I like how that looks now, so I'm going to glue down this. Oh, maybe I'm not going to glue it down right now. I don't know why I was motioning to you. I don't know if you could tell that that's what I was doing. And it sounds like one of my kids needs me, so I will be back in just a second. Okay, I am back. And now I am just going to glue down this back, or this main piece, I guess you could say, to the background paper. And I decided I need a couple of stamps, a couple more stamps on the yellow paper and off of the gray background paper. Now I am just going to do the title, and with this kit there came these loose letters, and so I was just going to make a really simple title with them. They're brown and they're kind of see-through, and so I thought I would just write out Jonas and Daddy. So here I am trying to see if I have enough letters, because I'm going to need 3 Ds, and I wasn't sure if there was going to be 3 of them. And there actually ends up only being 2 of them, I think. And so I have to make another D out of a different letter, I think is what I end up doing. But I really liked how these letters looked, and so I really wanted to use them. So I pull out that O, and I'm thinking I will just cut a little piece off of it to make it more look like the edge is more rounded, to look more like a D. And then I cut the far left side and flipped the piece around that I cut off so that it wasn't rounded like an O, and then I'm just going to glue it like that. And you can hardly even tell. Like, from the small little picture that I can see on my screen right now, it looks like a D to me. And it doesn't look like I had to do anything special for it. Now it kind of looks funky, but as I'm trying to glue it down, I am going to cut out most of this gluing down the title, just so you don't have to watch the whole process. It's kind of long. Okay, so here I have all the pieces done, and I'm just gluing down the ampersand right now. So the title is done. Jonas and Daddy. And I think I'm just going to clean up a little bit. Maybe not. I'm trying to be better about cleaning up after, doing a layout and stuff. So, okay, so now I'm trying to think about what I want to do to embellish this layout a little bit more. So I had this scratch piece of paper, or just like a, scrap, and I decided to cut it into a banner. And I'm just going to put it right there underneath the title, and that kind of gives the title something to be grounded on. And then I had another green piece of like scrap that I put underneath the banner. And I'm reaching in front of me because I have a bunch of embellishments and things in front of me, and I had these stickers. These ones that I'm pulling out right now are from Now and Then, and they're alpha word stickers from Jen Ellison. And I thought it would be fun to just kind of put a few different words on here that describe my husband and my son, Jonas. And so I put a couple words right there with those 2 banners. And then I'm going to put some enamel dots that I made myself. Excuse me. I can tell it's changing into winter because my throat is starting to hurt, and when I talk a lot like I'm doing right now, I end up coughing a lot, so my throat kind of hurts. I really don't like this time of year. I don't mind fall when fall first starts coming, but once it starts getting towards closer and closer to winter, it's just kind of like bleh. I used to love winters when I first moved to Idaho, which was when I was 18. Yeah, I think I was 18. I was right out of college, or right out of high school. And I came to college and I went to Rexburg, Idaho. And I loved winters because I did not grow up around snow. I grew up in Tucson and Sacramento, which are pretty warm places. So, okay, so I just added another banner to the top right of the photo mat. And I put a descriptive word there with an enamel dot as well. And I'm just going to put another word there. And like I said, I don't have the layout in front of me, which I apologize for. So I'm not too sure what those words are. Okay, so now I'm trying to think about some other ways to embellish this page, but I don't think that I actually do much more than this. We are getting down to the end of this layout. So right now I am just journaling about this photo. And basically, I'm just talking about why I took this picture. I was doing a photo shoot at my husband's work, which is where the picture is taken at, and I wanted my husband and my kids to pose and model for me so that I could test out the lighting, because I'd never used the lighting before, and so that's why I took this picture. And I just thought it was a really cute and sweet moment of Jonas and his dad. So now I'm just going to glue down the enamel dots that I have there. And that is the only drawback to making your own enamel dots, is I hate having to glue them down because either I don't get enough glue on it or I get too much glue, and then the glue kind of gets everywhere, and so that's kind of a frustrating downside to doing it yourself. But it is a lot cheaper, so I guess I shouldn't complain. And I believe this is it. The layout is done. So I have included some pictures so you can see close-ups, and go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed what you saw. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.